The kitchen.
I don't think it's true.
The fight against the university.
You've been protesting. I'm going to get our voices heard.
New updates.
There was a settlement.
Well, I felt blindsided.
That's tomorrow.
So the big question is, what did Bo know? Plus, over 1,000 reported victims of Dr. Anderson have been waiting for compensation for their suffering. Attorneys have finally reached a settlement agreement with the University of Michigan. How do John, Tad, and Chuck feel about that settlement? Well, you're going to find out tomorrow. For more information about this episode, go to drphil.com. Be sure to follow me on all the social media platforms and join our new Facebook page, Dr. Phil Fanatics. That's P-H-A-N. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to my podcast, Fill in the Blanks, where Judge Rosemarie Aquilina, known for presiding over the Larry Nassar case, walks me through her life and how she earned her nickname, the Barracuda. You don't want to miss this. And to get in on all the secrets of improving and empowering your life, definitely tune in to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.
WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 at 5.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden visited eastern Kentucky today to survey the damage left behind by the deadly flooding. After touring some of the damaged areas, the president sat down with Governor Andy Beshear and other officials for a briefing on the recovery efforts.
The president assured the governor and those directly affected by the flooding that the federal government wasn't going anywhere. The Biden administration has already declared those counties hit by the floods as federal disaster areas, meaning the federal government will offer financial and other assistance to clean up debris left behind and as residents and towns work to recover from the storm.
So I don't want any Kentuckian telling me you don't have to do this for me. Oh yeah, we do. You're an American citizen. We never give up. We never stop. We never bow. We never bend. We just go forward. And that's what we're going to do here. And you're going to see. And I promise you, the bad news for you is I'm coming back because I want to see it. Thank you very much.
The trip comes just after the Senate passed his landmark climate, healthcare, and tax bill.
Meanwhile, help is coming to eastern Kentucky from their neighbors right here in western Kentucky. We got these images from Marshall County's Parks Director, Brittany Hargrove, who is in Knott County now. She's acting as the county's public information officer. Both Hargrove and Knott County's judge executive tried to paint a picture for me of just how bad things are there.
It's a complete devastation countywide, branched into our surrounding counties. So many folks lost their homes. Several lives lost, families that's broken, that things can never be rebuilt.
We saw whole homes that were completely moved off of their foundations to a different side of the property. We saw fire trucks off in creeks where they had been moved out of parking lots.
Knott County alone saw 16 deaths. Hargrove says one of her goals is to make sure attention stays on Knott County so they continue to get the help and resources they need.
Now, your weather authority first forecast.
All right, as expected, miserably hot and humid today, and that has led to showers and storms. Many of them are quite intense in terms of the lightning and rainfall. This is the loop over the last 2 hours. Notice a lot of disorganized showers and storms. This one here that was in Marshall County earlier is now in southwest Callaway near Dukedom and southern Graves. This is tracking into Weakley County towards Puryear and will eventually make its way into the Paris, Tennessee area. This storm from Ullen to Mound City and Cairo is going to move through Ballard and McCracken County, and this one I do think will actually intensify over the next couple of minutes. Also some more convection here in southeast Missouri from Marstonton and Madrid, Missouri, right along Interstate 55, and some more pop-ups now from Goreville up to West Frankfort and Benton in southern Illinois. We'll talk about when the storms move out tonight and when a cold front will move through coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, as the heat drags on, the McCracken County Humane Society is handling a nearly full animal shelter. They have 56 cats and 71 dogs, putting them nearly at capacity.
The shelter is figuring out how to keep the animals cool and at the same time how to get people to adopt the animals. Executive Director Tracy Phelps says they don't have to worry so much about keeping the cats cool since they stay indoors. But keeping the dogs cool is a different story. That's because some of their kennels are outside. They're not air conditioned. Some good news here, it's Clear the Shelter Month.
This month is actually Clear the Shelters month, and we are running a lot of specials. We have a lot of discounted animals right now. So yeah, just come on out and you can always go to our website. We have everybody listed there. Come out and meet your new best friend.
If you're thinking about getting a pet, consider adopting from the McCracken County Humane Society. Local families know all too well this is back to school time. Tonight, kids in the Mayfield School District are getting ready to return to the classroom.
A lot has changed in that community since this time last year. It's been almost 8 months since a deadly tornado wiped out much of the town. Local 6's Holly Brantley is here now. Holly, what does the first day of school look like for high school students?
Well, Jen, I talked to the principal today, Billy Edwards. He's known for giving an enthusiastic welcome to kids each day, and that's exactly what he's planning to do tomorrow. This morning, we found teachers getting classrooms ready, construction crews finishing up renovations planned long before the tornado. The school wasn't hit by the storm. In fact, it's the place many flocked to during the night of December 10th to get help and help others. Now, while some thought enrollment may be down with so many families displaced, Edwards says at the high school, his numbers are actually up.
It's kind of baffling, honestly, but our enrollment's up. I mean, I've had a whole lot. I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head, but I've had a stack of applications for students that want to move here to our school district. So that's a good thing. You know, that tells you that we're doing a lot of things right here.
Now, Edwards says they know many families are still recovering from the storm and the staff is ready to support students. You'll hear from teachers at 6. We'll also talk about the need for bus drivers. Jen?
Holly, thanks. Edwards says one of the first things they'll do is look for ways to support Eastern Kentucky in the aftermath of flooding. That's because so many communities reached out to their district after the tornado. The men who initiated the deadly chase of Ahmaud Arbery were sentenced today. Travis McMichael was sentenced to life in prison for federal hate crimes in Arbery's killing.
His father, Gregory McMichael, was sentenced to life in prison plus 7 years for his role in the killing. And William Roddy Bryan Jr., the man who recorded the killing, was sentenced to 35 years in prison. All 3 men are white. The jury concluded that 25-year-old Arbery was targeted because he was a black man.
I'm very proud to say that we finally got justice for Ahmaud on the federal level. I am pleased that they would do their time in the state penitentiary, and that's what I had been screaming the whole time.
Greg and Travis McMichael armed themselves with guns and used a pickup truck to chase Arbery after he ran past their home in February of 2020. Brian joined the pursuit and recorded video of Travis McMichael blasting Arbery with a shotgun. All 3 men were previously given life sentences in a Georgia state court for Arbery's murder.
Every law enforcement agency in central New Mexico is working together to find the person or people responsible for the murders of 4 Muslim men, which investigators say may be connected.
Now, 3 Muslim men were murdered in New Mexico in the past 9 months. 2 more were killed this past Saturday, creating a trend police say may be connected. They believe the men are being targeted because of their race and religion. In all cases, the victims were caught off guard and shot without warning, all fitting similar descriptions. Albuquerque police want the public to keep an eye out for a dark gray or silver Volkswagen sedan. They believe it is either a Jetta or a Passat. The latest 2 victims were killed around 90 minutes apart from each other. Police are asking the Muslim community to be vigilant. The Uvalde, Texas School District is searching for an interim police chief after the former police chief, Pete Arredondo, was put on unpaid leave while he awaits termination hearing. The former chief has come under criticism due to the police's response to the Uvalde school shooting, which left 19 students and 2 teachers dead.
The police response was found to have widespread failures in the wake of that shooting. 30 to 40 Texas Department of Public Safety troopers will also be assigned to Uvalde schools. This comes as the former principal of Robb Elementary, Mandy Gutierrez, accepted a new position as Assistant Director of Special Education. Newly revealed photos show 2 occasions during which former President Donald Trump apparently flushed presidential documents down the toilet, violating the Presidential Records Act.
Maggie Haberman with the New York Times sat down and talked with CNN about the photos which someone from the Trump White House provided her after revelations from the January 6 hearings.
Now, again, as you say, people are going to make all kinds of jokes about toilets and so forth. It would still be a story if it was a fireplace. And the point is about the destruction of records, which are supposed to be preserved under the Presidential Records Act, which is a Watergate era creation.
Trump has denied the allegations. Haberman will publish the documents in her forthcoming book. Also today, Rudy Giuliani moved to postpone his testimony before a Georgia grand jury investigating his possible interference in the 2020 election. Giuliani's attorney says he has health concerns that would make flying a risk. Giuliani offered to give his testimony virtually, but that was rejected. His lawyer says the motion to postpone was submitted today after discussions with the Fulton County DA's office collapsed. New York Mayor Eric Adams has claimed that some migrants are being forced on buses from Texas as 14 more asylum seekers arrived in the city just yesterday on another bus sent by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Another 54 asylum seekers arrived in New York Friday on board a bus from Texas.
Abbott's office indicated that New York is now a designated, quote, drop-off location for the busing strategy as part of the governor's response to the Biden administration's open border policies overwhelming Texas communities.
What also was extremely revealing yesterday is that there were some who wanted to go to other cities where they have families, and they just packed them on a bus without any direction. And we learned that many people had to be reticketed. They wanted to go somewhere else, but they just specifically targeted New York, they being the governor of Texas.
A fierce critic of Biden's immigration policies, Abbott began sending hundreds of willing migrants on buses to Washington, D.C. earlier this year. More than 5,100 migrants have arrived in Washington from Texas on more than 135 buses. Olivia Newton-John, the pop star who found stardom with the musical Grease, died today after repeated treatments for cancer. In the late 70s and early 80s, Newton-John was one of the most recognizable celebrities in the world. She's known for her blockbuster Grease and dominated the charts with songs like the 1981 hit Physical, and I do love that song.
She is credited with selling more than 100 million records over the course of a 5-decade career. She's remembered as an advocate for breast cancer survivors, being one herself since first her diagnosis in 1992. And Pulitzer-winning historian David McCullough has died at age 89. His books, including profiles of the Brooklyn Bridge and Presidents John Adams and Harry Truman, made him among the most popular and influential historians of his time. Colleagues and fans remember him as writing lovingly crafted narratives on a range of subjects.
Continuing coverage on Ukraine as the war there rages on, the Ukrainian president is warning of what he calls Russian nuclear terror, as several attacks have been carried out in recent days on the largest nuclear power station in Europe.
It has raised red flags worldwide. The United Nations Secretary General has called for international inspectors to be given access to the nuclear site. Russia and Ukraine have exchanged accusations over who's responsible for attacks on the plant. Meanwhile, the United States is providing Ukraine another $4.5 billion to help keep the government functioning and to combat the huge deficit caused by the war. Gas prices continue to fall. Nationally, the average for a gallon of gas is $4.06. In Kentucky, folks are paying $3.66 a gallon. And in McCracken County specifically, it's even better, $3.36 a gallon. And the cheapest gas today can be found at Sam's Club on James Sanders Boulevard in Paducah at $3.23 a gallon.
Just with the doctor order, we've got some showers and storms out there, bringing some much-needed drought relief across the southern half of the area. We'll talk about the radars coming up in the full forecast.
Ahead, the Inflation Reduction Act passed by Senate Democrats now heads to the House. What you need to know about the sweeping climate and health care bill.
And we'll have the latest on why so many flights were canceled this past weekend. You're watching Local 6 at 5.
When you think of climate change, your mind probably jumps to the environment and global warming. But did you know it could affect your day-to-day health? Tomorrow morning at 6:40, how protecting the environment can protect your health. Join us on Local 6 today.
Drive like a man, man.
Allen Auto Sales on Jefferson Street or AllenAutoSales.com, where satisfaction is standard equipment.
At Pizza Inn, we've always got a spot for you and your family. Plus enough hand-tossed pizzas for everyone to find a favorite. At our all-day buffet, you'll see honest hometown folks, warm slices, and even warmer smiles. And more than 40 of your favorite pizzas, pastas, salads, and desserts. For over 60 years, we've been serving up the classics and plenty of new surprises, too. Grab a seat and a slice at America's hometown pizza place.
It's back. The popular back-to-home sales event at Gillum Thompson Furniture. With back to school in progress, with more time being spent indoors, what a perfect time to spruce up your home with beautiful new furniture. Also, save on economical furniture for your college student's dorm room or apartment. Get going to Gillum Thompson Furniture, where qualified buyers can receive free interest plans and free delivery. Gillum Thompson Furniture, the winner for the 3rd straight year as the Reader's Choice #1 furniture store.
Sitting on the historic corner of the Court Square is the beautiful Phil Beck Can Funeral Home of Milner and Orr. It has been a beacon of hope for generations of families in some of the difficult days of their lives. At Phil Beck Can, we have renovated the entire building to offer local families a positive choice in funeral care. Take a fresh look at Phil Beck Can Funeral Home in Benton. You will find us to be affordable, beautiful, friendly.
Sky Tracker, brought to you by Oaks Law Firm, personal injury and family law professionals.
On Sunday, the Senate passed a $750 billion bill addressing health care, taxes, and climate. It passed 51-50 in the Senate.
Yeah, its final passage gives Democrats the chance to deliver on major policy objectives ahead of the November midterms. The Democrat-controlled House is expected to take up the legislation on Friday.
And Jennifer, here are the key points in the bill named the Inflation Reduction Act. It would represent the largest climate investment in U.S. history and make major changes to health policy by giving Medicare the ability to negotiate prices of certain prescription drugs and extending expiring health care subsidies for 3 years. The legislation would reduce the deficit, be paid for through new taxes, including a 15% minimum tax on large corporations and a 1% tax on stock buybacks. The bill invests in climate change mitigation and clean energy, including incentives for Americans buying electric cars, energy-efficient heat pumps, solar energy, and more. The bill also aims to cut carbon emissions with a projected outlook of cutting emissions by 40% by 2030.
And Todd, the bill comes as the devastating Oak Fire in Mariposa County, California, one of the largest fires of the season, is finally almost contained. Officials expect that fire to be fully contained by Wednesday. The Oak Fire has been burning for nearly 2 weeks, and the cause of that fire is still unknown. More than 100 homes have been destroyed. Meanwhile, the McKinney Fire, which started July 29th and is the largest wildfire of the season, is only 40% contained and has claimed 4 lives. And 2022 had one of the 3 hottest Julys on record globally. In Europe, the heat waves brought record-breaking temperatures in the west and the north. Spain, the UK, and France experienced at least one day over 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Water reservoirs were at very low levels in several parts of the EU. Hot and dry conditions combined affected the production of grains in the continent.
High temperatures today before the showers and storms. 93 in Paducah, 95 the air temp today. Sikeston 91 in Murray, 93 in Union City. Out there tonight, you can really see the contrast between where it has rained and where it has not. Really across West Tennessee, we have yet to see much. Still 91 Union City with a heat index of 102. Contrast that with just 75 in Murray, Kentucky. 82 now in Paducah with a heat index of 87. And you see here across southern Illinois where it hasn't rained along Route 13, especially heat index 105 to 108 from Marion to Harrisburg in southern Illinois. All right, the good news is we don't have any severe warnings at the moment. And the other part of the good news is much needed rain coming from these showers and storms. Let's take you on a radar tour. This cell here that's crossing the state line spent about an hour and a half in Marshall County earlier this afternoon. It's already south of Murray. It's going to be tracking towards Paris, Tennessee, Palmersville, Dresden here in about an hour or so. Any of these cells this evening will produce torrential downpours, vivid lightning, and some locally gusty winds. The freezing level is kind of too high up in the atmosphere. That's where the temp is 32 or lower. So hail from these cells, little if any. It's really no large hail threat from this action tonight. This one across western Ballard in Carlisle County is really going to grow here over the next hour as it comes towards McCracken, Graves, and Massac County. And I'll explain to you why. We've got a collision of 2 separate outflow boundaries. This one here I've drawn was the cool rush of air that was sent westward from that storm earlier in Marshall County. There's another one tracking eastward from this one that was in Missouri an hour ago. The 2 of them are colliding as we speak, which is why you see on the radar this storm is really going to take off in terms of the rain intensity, the lightning, and the thunder Bardwell, Cunningham, West Paducah, La Center, Monkey's Eyebrow, Karnak in the next few minutes. Not severe, but a lot of downpours now from Carroll to Wickliffe, Mount City. Tremendous lightning here in Grand Chain that's tracking towards Joppa, New Columbia, eventually over I-24 about an hour from now. So heads up, Massac counties next 1 to 2 hours. 250 bolts of lightning. Last 30 minutes in that cell. All right, Southern Illinois, Harrisburg to Carbondale, it's still really humid, but this complex here from Benton to West Frankfort, currently in Cesar to Tamaroa with a tremendous amount of lightning. This one will drift south as well, I think, towards Johnston City in the next hour or so. Some good downpours here from Marston. This is in southeast Missouri now, towards Portageville. That'll be coming towards Tiptonville and Lake County, Tennessee in the next hour or so. Notice the big view here originally. Disorganized showers and storms, the name of the game, just as expected. We'll pick up the hour-by-hour maps at midnight because the computer models are really not handling the radar now much, so it's really, there's not much for me to show you in the computer projection because it doesn't match up with the radar right now. So through the next 3 or so hours, we'll have the showers and storms. Probably about 9 to 10 o'clock, much of them should fade away. Overnight, there might be some new development, loosely organized, but not a ton as we head into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, like today, it's really humid, not quite as hot. Tomorrow afternoon, again, pop-up showers and storms. They'll be loosely organized. I think the futurecast here is underdoing the amount of convection. Tomorrow evening, similar to today. Maybe not quite as widespread, the pop-up showers and storms, but again, I think there'll be more on the radar than this model shows. We'll skip ahead now to Wednesday. Wednesday, maybe a few cells in the morning, but the afternoon is going to be primarily Kentucky and Tennessee. This will be a front dropping down from the north. So if you're in Illinois or Missouri on Wednesday, it's probably more likely than not you'll stay dry. So tomorrow, 90, 83 Wednesday, very humid both days. The shower and storm chance Wednesdays mainly West Kentucky and Tennessee. Thursdays, everybody dry, lowering humidity, a north breeze, 87, 85 on Friday, total sun. And right now, the weekend looks like a winter. Lots of sun, lowered humidity. Afternoon highs very nice in the mid-80s.
Ahead on NBC Nightly News, Guad Venegas is in Albuquerque, where authorities are trying to determine whether the slayings of 4 Muslim men are connected. 3 of the killings have happened in the last 2 weeks, and 1 occurred in early November.
Police have a vehicle of interest, and they want the public's help to find it. So far, they're resisting calling it an act of a serial killer. NBC's on the ground in a community seeking answers.
Tonight on Nightly News, the Muslim community here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, on edge after the killings of 4 members of their community, 3 of them just within the last 2 weeks. Now, the FBI is involved, working with local and state police to find those responsible. There is a reward being offered to members of the community that could provide pictures or videos or any information that could lead to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible. There's also a vehicle of interest. Photos of that vehicle have been shared with the community, with authorities hoping that information could lead to an arrest. More of this coming up.
All right, some good news. Stocks were up today despite record high inflation.
We'll have the latest on which sectors did the best after the break.
Closed captioning made possible by Road Centers for Better Hearing.
I'm so glad I came to Rhodes because I didn't know what I was missing until I got it back.
Visit Road Centers for Better Hearing today.
This is Chase Elliott, driver of the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. I know a winning team when I see one, and my friends at Auto Tire and Parts Napa are definitely a winning team. They're the most experienced parts professionals, the largest inventory, and the most hometown locations in the heartland. No wonder they've been #1 in this area for over 100 years.
Purchase any Napa Legend or AAA automotive battery and get a $20 rebate. Proceeds from battery sales benefit the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund.
Next time you need parts, stop in and see my friends at Auto Tire and Parts Napa.
Well, what do we have here? Looks like the new guy picked up lunch. Went with the new DQ Signature Stack Burgers menu. That's nice. A lineup of bold flavors like the Flamethrower Signature Stack Burger and Loaded A1 Signature Stack Burger. It's a total of 5 premium burgers that are anything but boring. So you can make an impression.
Am I gonna get reimbursed?
Like a really good impression?
I got it. Lunch is
New guy just became burger guy. DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered to DQ.com.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity, using less or a lot less oral pain medicines, and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
During Toyota's national sales event, we're working hard to deliver new Toyotas so you can enjoy the last of summer. From hitting the rapids with a RAV4 hybrid, to kicking up sand in a Tundra, or camping out in a Highlander. Hey guys!
And
Nobody has more all-wheel drive vehicles, like the legendary Toyota 4Runner. Get a rugged new 22 Tacoma with 1.9 APR financing. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Kip Allington. I worked at River Valley Ag Credit for almost 30 years. Why I love my job? The multitude of opportunities to advance professionally, our faith-based culture, and mentoring of younger employees, benefits such as rollover, sick, and vacation time has allowed me to not miss life's most important moments. A retirement plan that helped me prepare for my future. Today, employees get a 9% contribution from the company. That's unheard of.
Cultivate your growth and success with River Valley Ag Credit.
Stocks rose on Wall Street as investors prepare for a busy week of updates on inflation. The S&P 500 rose 0.8%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the Nasdaq also gained ground.
Small company stocks outpaced the broader market's gains in a sign of investors' confidence in the economy. Retailers and technology stocks were among the biggest winners. Clean energy companies are rising following Senate approval of Democrats' big election year economic package. The government will release its July report for consumer prices and wholesale prices later this week. All right, travelers faced a miserable weekend getting around, and today didn't look a whole lot better. More than 300 U.S. flights were canceled, and there were more than 1,100 delays, all before 8 this morning.
Between Saturday and yesterday, there were more than 1,600 cancellations and about 15,000 delays. In many cases, weather was to blame, like in Chicago, which was impacted the most after heavy rain and flash flooding. But it's not all Mother Nature's fault. It's been far from a smooth summer as travelers feel the effects of airline staffing shortages and air traffic control delays. The shortest day on Earth since the invention of the atomic clock was recorded June 29th. The Earth's rotation was nearly 1.6 milliseconds short of the usual 24-hour day on that date. That beats out the previous shortest day on record, which was in July of 2020.
Researchers are unsure why Earth is turning slightly faster, but say the movement of land due to melting glaciers might be a factor. Despite the shorter days, it turns out days used to go by much more quickly. A typical day only lasted about 23.5 hours during the time when dinosaurs roamed the Earth. Good news for the region. A cold front may be rolling through tomorrow and Wednesday, bringing much needed rain.
Yeah, final check on the forecast after the break.
The indictment of a former president, perhaps candidate for president, would arguably tear the country apart. Is that your concern? Can you update us on the status of negotiations?
Hi, I'm Jerry Summers, New Wave Flooring. For 49 cents, you can get luxury vinyl tile or plank. And don't forget, free install on Mohawk carpet. That's right, I said free install on Mohawk carpet. We always got some in stock, whether you're doing one room or a whole house. We've got lots of colors in stock, ready to be installed by our licensed and experienced installers. Hey, I think I've got it. Blink, I'm gone. Hey, I'm halfway there.
It's like I'm downloading in slow motion. Wish we had better internet.
Charlie! That's right, it's me, Charlie. Wish specialist for Spectrum. Let's get that wish granted.
How?
Spectrum Internet delivers fast speeds for a stronger connection on all your devices. Here. Here! Yeah! And here. Plus, get a free modem and free desktop security to keep your kids safe. Online.
Get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month. Call 833-768-4999.
Why do we need all these remotes? I wish our shows were in one place.
Spectrum TV makes it easy to find your favorites. Plus, you'll have access to over 85,000 titles on demand. And with the free Spectrum TV app, you can watch live sports, news, and more on any device, anywhere.
Get Spectrum TV for $49.99 a month. Call 833-768-4999.
I wish we didn't have a contract. Granted.
Oh, he's good. Switch to Spectrum Internet or TV, or get them both for $49.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-768-4999.
I had a wonderful experience out here, and I am so grateful to finally find someone who could help me the way that Dr. Miliano's helped me. I have spent a lot of money on hearing aids at other places, but I have never gotten the service that I have gotten here. If you want the best, come on out here and see for yourself.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure.
Here's a live look inside the NBC Nightly News control room. Ahead, walking you through the new spending bill, what it means to your health care costs and your drug prescriptions.
And are the killings of 4 Muslim men in one town connected? How investigators want the public's help.
And we're tracking showers and storms here in northwest Tennessee, tracking towards Paris and Gleason. But here in Ballard County, as we discussed, we had a collision of 2 boundaries, and the storm has really exploded here. It's still sub-severe, but it's producing a ton of lightning in torrential downpours, and this one is moving now eastward. So if you have outdoor plans in the Paducah area the next hour or two, this will be a hindrance to your plans. And out ahead of the actual rain, you'll notice a big gust of wind coming in from the west. That could be 30 to 40 miles an hour. Again, lots of lightning. Remember, lightning is the #1 killer in the summertime from storms, so please make sure you're inside as this storm approaches, but it does not look like any wind damage is occurring. Good news.
Noah, thank you.
Thank you for watching Local 6 at 5.
Still get back to the swing
Right.
for vacation. Yeah.
What's going on your grill? Steak, chicken, ribs, fish? Whatever you're grilling, it's guaranteed fresh when you shop Midtown Market in Paducah. Now offering an even greater selection with over 400 new products. Midtown Market, where we believe better market, better life.
Get your outdoor projects done right with Menards. With the best selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber and the inventory to back it up. Now is the time to get that outdoor project you've been meaning to get to done. Best yet, we've made it convenient for you to get in, out, and back to building. Whichever the project, Menards has the AC2 pressure-treated lumber to get it done.
Save big money at Menards.
What did you say? Hi, I'm Joshua Rhodes, 3rd generation hearing instrument specialist at Rhodes Centers for Better Hearing. If you or someone you love is having trouble with their hearing, why wait to have your hearing checked? Today's hearing technology is invisible, smartphone compatible, and rechargeable. At Rhodes, we're offering a 45-day adjustment period and 0% financing. Offices in Brookport, Marion, and Harrisburg.
Better hearing at a better price.
Getting injured on the job can change your life. How are you going to support your family? What about the medical bills that are piling up? Can you recover the wages you've lost? Workers' comp claims can be complicated, but fortunately for workers around here, you've got the Bryant Law Center. They know workers' comp and you don't pay a dime until they win your case. If you've been injured on the job, call 1-888-MARK-BRYANT.
Hey, it's Scott at Happy Z Sit and Sleep. We've been voted #1 for the 8th year in a row. We work very hard at choosing the best-in-class sleep solutions at the most affordable prices. We have the #1 latex line in Posh and Lavish, the #1 memory foam mattresses in Tempur-Pedic, the #1 bed in a box in Nectar and Dream Cloud, and the #1 innerspring line in Stearns & Foster. We want to thank you once again for trusting us with all your sleep solutions so that we can continue to glorify God by serving people. We are Happy Z Sit and Sleep in Benton and Paducah.
It's always grilling season at Midtown Market in Paducah. Offering the best quality cuts of meat and the freshest produce means a delicious and wholesome meal for your family. Now choose from over 400 new products at Midtown Market. Better grocery, better life.